Because if he's not tight in defence and he gets hit the way he does, he's going to get knocked out.
Pro boxing fans here in London, it's fight week. It's a big one. Johnny Nelson, how are you, sir? How's things? How's life?
I'm good. I think London has just been transformed into a boxing capital for the week. You know, we was London Bridge yesterday, Leicester Square tonight. You know, they're trying to find iconic places to put on the events, you know, to get the attention of the public. But this is top draw, man. It's different, something different.
You can feel it. It's early in the week, but you can feel it brewing it for this week to be huge. We are on a red carpet for the grand arrivals. We're here early. So let's talk about this fight, big fight. Daniel Dubois, Anthony Joshua. There's a bit of back and forth. There's a bit of history there with the sparring. Talk to me about this fight. How do you see, not even the fight playing out, but what do you think about both fighters leading into this fight?
So both fighters leading into this fight. Daniel Dubois is a young pup of a heavyweight at 27 years old. Anthony Joshua will be 35 coming soon. Your early 30s, mid 30s is when heavyweights mature. Heavyweights get into their own. That's when heavyweights settle with the weight, with the confidence. And so Anthony Joshua is where he should be. So, and he's been through his ups and downs, and it's not a secret. Daniel Dubois was where Anthony Joshua was. So it's a case of how big that lion in him is to try and break through whatever Anthony Joshua has, because that's what he's going to need. If he stands up Anthony Joshua is going to pick him to pieces and cut him to ribbons, get him out of there. Daniel Dubois has to walk through fire. He has to put him under immense pressure and not leave him alone, because if he does anything else but not put him under pressure, he's going to be found wanting. He's got an underrated jab. Both fighters have. The reports when sparring, I walked into Daniel's camp the other day. They just finished sparring. All the sparring spot says this guy's so strong, it's ridiculous. And so that's. But you've seen AJ with big, strong guys, and you see what he's done to him. So it's got to be brain over brawn, and that's why I'm interested and intrigued to see how the approach.
Just going off what you're saying, and I was speaking maybe to yourself and a few other pundits when this fight got announced, the general consensus is that, you know, Daniel Dubois was very open against Hrgovic. He did win the fight, and it was a great win for him, but he was very open. If that's Anthony Joshua on the other side, do you feel like if Dubois is that open in this fight, which I'm sure he's worked on, that AJ possibly, you know, gets the job done?
Without a doubt, Hrgovic, and not just the Daniel fight, before the Daniel fight, you see he falls out of love with the fight, in the fight. You know, he's disinterested, he'll and then he needs to build up that confidence again mid-fight, and then he gets the win done. Daniel stayed persistent on his case, and when he did that and started feeling sorry for himself, having his own little pity party, he couldn't bring himself back from it, because Daniel wouldn't leave him alone to what he usually does in a fight. So Daniel's style and persistence suited that fight. That style and persistence will not suit this fight if he's not tight in defence, because if he's not tight in defence and he gets hit the way he does, he's going to get knocked out. He's going to get hurt. And don't tell me how many shots you can take. Don't tell me how tough your chin is. If you hit anybody, lightweight to heavyweight, at the right time, the right speed, you're going to knock him out. Anthony Joshua hits far too hard, he's far too correct, too tight, and the boy's fast. I was watching some of his fights, you know, in the build-up to this. I'm trying to see the highs and lows, the dips and the troughs in his career. And one thing I will say is that right hand, it's like a fishing hook right hand, boom, brings it in with so much power, but speed. Speed creates power. You know, if you're just going for power, you'll have the power, but you won't have the speed, so therefore it's not going to be as powerful. And AJ's fast. So Daniel Dubois, if he leaves himself open the way he has done in the past, not just in his last fight, he gets knocked out. So the only tip I could give him, I don't know what Don's telling him. If I was Don, I'd say stay on his chest. Make him feel uncomfortable. You need to be comfortable feeling uncomfortable. Stay on your chest, make him scrap his way out. Make him have to push you off, make him wrestle you off. Just make it uncomfortable for him, because if you let him get into his rhythm, he's going to set you up and drop one on you. Common sense, you know, we all see it. It's just you've got to figure out what tactics will work.
I was going to ask you on the flip side, do you feel like Dubois' power is one that's obviously going to trouble AJ if he does get to that situation, but do you feel like he's using it a lot more effectively now than he was in previous big fights?
Dubois, to get to this stage, he's always had that natural strength and power, just like AJ. So again, this fight, I would be very surprised if he went past the halfway mark. Very surprised. And for AJ, he wants to win. He wants to be a 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. Daniel Dubois, I think this is the fight where he'll really believe in the belt he's got, because he was given it through a post. So therefore, in any fighter that's given a belt like that, anybody, and this isn't dumbing it down, any fighter, they don't feel as though it's theirs until they've actually defended it or got in there and said, right, I've done the job. So Daniel won't feel as though he's a world champion until after this fight, because that's a big scalp. He gets Anthony Joshua, that's a massive scalp.
I was reading somewhere that, is it fair to say on this one that obviously AJ is really well seasoned for this occasion? He's done it a few times, well, more than a few times. Daniel Dubois, do you reckon there'll be nerves? I know he's gone to Poland for Usyk on a big level, but this is the UK, 96,000. A majority AJ fans.
So let me tell you different. I boxed so many times in everybody's backyard, and it brings a different beast out of you, because what happens is when you're the guy and you're abroad, it brings a different survival beast out of you where you've got to fight. When you're on home turf, this is where you live, these are the streets you've got to walk. Yeah. You're in Wembley. The Brits are the best fans in the world when they switch it on. 96,000 people in Wembley. AJ's old hat at that. Remember, when he was walking in, when he was boxing Klitschko, you thought, damn, this boy, that's 2016. No, that's old hat. So this is to him, he's a big stadium fighter. That's nothing to him. For Dubois, he's never experienced anything like it. The roar of the crowd, the atmosphere, the vibe, the energy, what they're going to throw into this fight, and the task ahead in front of him. This is going to be a big, big night for him. So it's not just about sticking to his game plan, it's about holding his nerve. Now, my criticism of Daniel, and he's a nice boy, and the boy will mature, but he's got to learn from the losses as well as the victories. My problem is this: I don't think he can think in the ring. He can remember, but he can't think in the ring. There's a difference. You think in the ring, something happens. You can diverse. You can switch. You can switch it up. You can drop it down. You can just bring something different into it and buy yourself time to get yourself back to the corner. Danny, don't do that. Danny remembers. And remember what he's had to do in the gym. He's remember what tactics, and that's great. So that means there's a lot of pressure on Don Charles to make sure he gives him the correct instructions to execute. Because if he doesn't, Danny's not going to do anything else. He's not going to bring anything else out of the box. He's not going to think, I've got to do this. And this is something that Daniel's either got to become accustomed to and start doing, or it's trait. That's just who he is.
Just a final one on this fight. There's a lot of criticism, and not even criticism, a lot of people saying, look, Daniel Dubois, when it came to the big occasions, he fell short. Jojo's fight, Usyk fight, they said that some people have come out after and said maybe he quit a little bit. Do you feel like his mentality has changed off them experiences in big fights, that you see it, you've sat down with him, you've got to see him in his eyes?
I do believe his mentality has changed, and the thing is, unfortunately, you've got to take some crap to actually think, can I deal with this or not? He's proved he can deal with it and stick it out, brush it off. He's got to think to himself, well, why did that? So we can all comment about you quit, you this, that and the other. He's got to, in his head, he's got to figure out in his head why that happened, what was in his mind, what was his mindset. Will that happen again? Is it a knee-jerk reaction? Is it something I will do naturally? So he's probably figured that story out. Unfortunately, he's going to get people, reminding him of that. But he's got to be mentally strong enough to actually say, yeah, I understand, I hear what you're saying, but that's fixed now. So that's a bigger problem for you than it is for me.
Final one, Carl Froch had his matter to say on this, and he said, listen, if AJ loses this, it's the end of it. We know that Turki Alishek's still going to look to make the Tyson Fury fight in 2025. But in your eyes, do you feel like if AJ does lose this, that this is possibly the end of AJ's career?
Every fight, especially for AJ, is a valuable fight. And every win means something, every loss will mean something to him, if not to us. And that's a decision AJ's got to make. That's down to nobody else. That's his decision. That's his shout. I'm quite sure his stock will rise or fall. If that happens, the reputation will rise or fall. But look what he's done for British boxing. Look what he's done for boxing worldwide. Come on, So I understand what you're saying, but that's business is business.
Johnny, it's the start of fight week. I'm going to let you do your thing. Thank you so much for giving us your time as always, and I'll see you later on in the week. So, man.